Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! It is just after nightfall on this beautiful island. You guys are tuned into and are watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. It is an honor to be in your presence to discuss everything Descendants of Zombies, which I know you guys are in love with, and I totally get that. And that's something I want you to understand and realize, is that I understand that you're in love with Descendants of Zombies, and that's why you guys watch these videos. So because I understand and I appreciate why you love Descendants of Zombies, because there are many reasons why everybody loves Descendants of Zombies and is so in touch with these series, is because of the love, the passion, the music, the dedication to the script and bringing it to life, the characters. There are so many reasons why everybody is in love with Descendants of Zombies, and they vary, which makes everybody different for the reason why they love Descendants of Zombies. It's not necessarily because of High School Musical, the series, or the characters that we saw in that, Kylie Cantrell, and so many characters that drew inspiration for the Descendants franchise and were carried over. It was because of just how powerful the franchise was and how it touched so many hearts. And I think living here on this island provides me with the perfect opportunity and chance to discuss everything about Descendants of Zombies, especially zombies, because I do really live near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode, literally 5 minutes away. Spirit Halloween is just right there. There's a haunted graveyard 10 minutes away from where I live. Of course, there's legendary tales about pirates and mermaids associated with this island. So I think talking about zombies is perfect just after nightfall every night, and I like doing it under the light of the moon because it allows me to put my thoughts together. And I think I create some of the best videos ever told about Descendants of Zombies because I help people put it into perspective about how it truly means. And I get people to talk about how they feel when they watch Descendants of Zombies, because I think every moment that we have seen in the script kind of reminds us of a situation and or circumstance in our own lives which bring us that much closer together. Because through these videos we share in each other's experience, because these videos have an incredible reach. They never fail to touch somebody's heart, and they get people thinking about moments in their own lives, remembering moments from the Zombies and Descendants franchises. And I just love hearing your guys' stories and reading your guys' poems and reading your comments. There are people who even write poems about their favorite Descendants of Zombies characters for me on this YouTube channel, and I want you guys to know that I do read down through every comment. So thank you so much for your contributions to this YouTube channel, because let me guys tell you something. You guys really bring this YouTube channel to life. You give it life. You give me incentive to create a bunch of videos for people who love Descendants of Zombies. And the cool thing about this YouTube channel is there's a guy hosting the show that actually talks about the characters, because there's no denial ever coming from me that I'm a huge fan of Ruby Rose Turner. She is my favorite Descendants character of all time. Bridget ultimately became my favorite Descendants character of all time because I just fell head over heels in love with Bridget because of how kind she was. If there was one characteristic that I could pick to choose to fall in love with Bridget all over again, it would have to be her kindness. Because I really believe that with how kind every Descendants character was, and their kindness varied and separated each other from each other character, I think that Bridget's kindness really touched somebody's heart in so many emphatic ways, and that's why her contributions to the franchise will never ever be forgotten. There isn't a night that goes by under the light of this moon that I don't wish Ruby Rose Turner was here to help me build game cheers, play video games with me. I say that all the time because she's just a genuine person who's deserved a lot better in the way of treatment, in the way of reviews, in the way of criticism, because I think that if we're going to talk about our favorite Descendants of Zombie stars that have created so many moments and been a part of our lives for forever, I think we really need to give people like Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrell, Meg Donnelly, more of a chance. I actually just saw these beautiful photos that Meg Donnelly just took on her Facebook fan page, and she threw them up and shared them with her fans. There are over 250,000 people subscribed to Meg Donnelly on social, and these latest photos of her are absolutely mind-blowing. She is a fashion superstar, and she's really into what she does. I think she's felt a part of everything that she's done, and I just want to let you guys know that these photos have now been released and gone public, and they are beautiful. And I think that for a girl who doubts herself so much, I think we can give her more incentive to keep going and moving forward into the foreseeable future, because I think there is never enough support shown for people like Meg and Freya and Malachi and Ruby, because they're overshadowed by so many different celebrities that take all the attention away from the people who deserve to be in the spotlight. Like, I just saw the trailer for Wicked for Good before I recorded this video. I just got home from a movie premiere. I went to attend the Tron Ares premiere, and as great as that movie was, there had to be an Ariana Grande promo for Wicked for Good coming out in November. Now, I know that's a little over a month away, and I will be attending it because I've got my advance tickets already pre-booked. But the thing is, I think that Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift take the majority of the conversation away. I think that the majority of the conversation when it comes to Disney Plus projects now are revolving around Descendants, because so many people get excited and have their reasons for getting excited about Descendants and Zombies. So as a reviewer, not so much a critic, because there are so many critics. There are way too many critics on YouTube who upload reviews about Descendants and Zombies. I think we should be showcasing it for its true value and its true worth. And I know I receive a lot of criticism for these videos, but for every critic who may have criticized me, I do have a lot of people who do love these videos. And because I have so many people, I have a frog magically stuck in my throat every time I do a video, so please forgive me. For the people who choose to criticize me, I think there are tens of thousands of people who support these videos and have been here from the very beginning, which makes recording these videos such an honor for me. Telling you guys stories about how I believe pirates have forever and always existed in my heart, and how I've always wanted to meet a mermaid. I've wanted the opportunity to go out on a boating excursion and actually fall in love with a mermaid, and it's never happened for me. So I think the door can be left more widely open than ever before to perhaps see mermaids see their introduction into the Zombies franchise for the first time ever, because I love a good tale about a mermaid. I'll be honest with each and every one of you. Actually, because I've read every tale that's had something to do with a mermaid dating as far back as the Little Mermaid original version that was released, that was a very depressing book. The guy that she was in love with dies in the book. I think Eric dies, and so many depressing things happen. So I really appreciated how Disney took a negative story and made it something that's so positive and so beautiful by 1989. And Jodie Benson's voice, being a Christian singer, really brought it to life. I also remember reading a mermaid tale called Amanda Greenleaf. It was written by a guy named Kevin Major, who I met many years ago, and I remember being so intrigued by this tale about a girl who wanted to do absolutely nothing but only explore the human world and explore outside of the ocean, and both herself and Ariel had the opportunity to do it. There are so many legendary tales about mermaids and such a lure that goes with mermaids that I think you guys don't really understand how many storylines have the chance to be presented in the Zombies franchise, which makes me feel more intrigued than ever before to talk about it. So, because I feel so intrigued to talk about it and talk about pirates and talk about witches and everything else that can be thrown into this cauldron, because this cauldron is very unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. And with the competition forever and always existing, with the powerful cast of Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, and Leomani Segura coming in, Keanu Romero to play Hazel Hook, the daughter of Captain Hook, I think that's really cool how Captain Hook actually has a daughter, because he doesn't look like a guy that would be very fond of having kids. So, will they be as devious as what he is or have the same cruel intentions? We will find out. We will also find out what kind of controversy Red Sister Pink will present in the franchise for the first time ever. She's excited to meet all of us, or at least that's what Disney is insisting. I think there are many people out there that are just as excited to meet her too, and I think she's going to offer a lot to the franchise. To me, she really presents kind of like an 80s kind of vibe to a character. She seems like someone that you would see back in the 1980s and draws inspiration for this character from the 1980s, kind of like a Cyndi Lauper, Michael Jackson kind of vibe, if you know what I'm getting at. So I really think that this is a really cool time to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because Descendants of Zombies is really coming to its own. And being from this island where so many legendary tales have been affiliated with it and have been told about fairies and about goblins and witches, and be it that I live literally 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode in a haunted graveyard, and this house was told by me that it was haunted for forever since I moved into it. There's a lot of mysterious noises and banging occasionally you hear during these videos. I've never actually had it investigated or checked out. Perhaps I should take myself up the opportunity to do that, or call an exorcist. I'll let you know how that goes. But the thing is, I think it's a really cool time to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and I wish more people had a greater appreciation for what the stars have offered to it, how the cast has really brought this to life, because there's an undeniable amount of chemistry that I get from this every single time that I talk about Descendants and Zombies. It's obviously a 5-star production in the hearts of many people, and by the time this video uploads, it'll probably get a couple of hundred views, which is something I get really excited over when my videos find their way out into the YouTube algorithm, which is basically all of you guys and how you respond to the videos. You know, the cool thing about this channel is it has such an incredible reach and it touches the hearts of so many people, and that's a really rewarding feeling as a YouTube creator. Because I could be working at the local Five Nights at Freddy's or the local video game store selling video games that I didn't really care about. But because of each and every one of you, I actually have a chance now to stay home for the rest of my life and create videos on Descendants of Zombies, because I've finally fallen into a niche that is incredibly supportive of me. And because I've finally fallen into a niche that's incredibly supportive of me, I can never say enough good things about Descendants of Zombies. It's like so many fans, thousands of fans have said, you're cool, you can be our voice of Descendants of Zombies, you have experience in radio and YouTube videos, so you can be our voice of Descendants of Zombies until the day you die for the rest of your life. Which I have no issues with, because I really do love talking about it. I really do love attending all these red carpet premieres and coming home and telling you guys about my experiences throughout the day, because I look at this show as a journal, and the opportunity to write in that journal every single day, because every single day presents a new opportunity to write a new chapter, kind of like how every chapter in Descendants opens up the door for its next chapter, and never to be closed. It's a book that should never ever be closed, and I think that's the way you need to look and think about Descendants and Zombies. You know, think about your favorite moments for just a little bit longer. Share with your friends your favorite moments. Compare each other's favorite moments and songs, because we all have a favorite song from whatever soundtrack we were a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I think Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, was a very different vibe, kind of a cool vibe. By the time the werewolves showed up in Zombies 2, the music got a little bit better, but not good enough. And then by Zombies 4, here comes this beautiful soundtrack that's really blown everything out of proportion and been downloaded thousands of times. It's truly unbelievable what people like Freya, Skye, and Malachi Burton can offer to a soundtrack. And I think that, you know, singing songs like Someday, which were never their responsibility, taking on that responsibility did them wonders, because people are talking about them more than ever before. They think they look adorable together, and I think it's really cool how they've never failed to touch the hearts of so many millions of people who have been fans of this franchise and have taken something special away from it. That's what's so cool about Descendants and Zombies fans, is that they are forever and always supportive of what they love and who they love, and they've never quit on them. This never say die, never quit on your attitude, I'll never go away kind of thing. It's a really nice vibe, and it's the first time that a vibe such as this has been presented since, dare I say, the days of High School Musical and Hannah Montana, because I can never remember a time where Hannah Montana was this revered or this much talked about. The only thing Hannah Montana had to survive off of and gain a reputation for was the music, because Miley Cyrus could sing anything. So too could Taylor Swift. And if they couldn't sing anything that they were presented the opportunity to sing, I don't think they would have been so much of a profound success. But the thing is, off the Worlds Collide tour, we knew, and we were more certain than ever before, that these stars, Kylie Control, Freya, Skye, could sing anything, because they were singing songs that weren't initially written for them. The songs that were written in Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, for say, were written for those characters to sing, like Rewrite the Stars and Go My Own Way, but never before had Someday been written for Malachi Burton and Freya Skye, been written to take on this responsibility of really bring it to life in the absence of Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim, who the songs had been originally written for. And even when they sang Life is Sweeter When You Are on the score of the Worlds Collide tour, that was a song originally written for Ruby. And as satisfying as me hearing Ruby's voice on that song was every single time, Kylie Control took on the responsibility of singing it, and now because of how great it was done, there's a report of how a remix of Life is Sweeter When You Are is going to be happening for Descendants 5 soundtrack, which is something that I've never felt more intrigued by. And I'm really excited to actually take on the responsibility of reviewing Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland, because of all these exciting things that are going to be happening in the franchise. Of course, the franchise will focus on everything happening in present-day Wonderland. There will be no time travel. But, you know, even with there not being any time travel, I think there's always a chance that we could see some, you know, concepts of time travel find its way back into the franchise, because, of course, Ruby's been left back in time travel. And I think even if you open up the movie and explain what happened, kind of a prologue, and went back in time within the first 10 minutes of the movie and saved Ruby from obscurity and doom and brought her back to present-day Wonderland to have her some involvement given to her and presented in the movie, even if you repackaged her under the role of a different character, perhaps the daughter of Rapunzel or Rapunzel herself, because I know about the desire Ruby's always and forever had about wanting to play Rapunzel, so I think that because she's had a desire to want to play Rapunzel, I think you can give her that opportunity, and presenting that opportunity with Ruby, I think it would be an emotional time for Ruby, because the fans of Descendants have been incredibly supportive of Ruby, and Ruby's been in such popular demand since her premiere in Descendants, and I can attest to that, because I remember when news was first announced of Ruby Rose Turner being in the Descendants franchise, and I have a group of university students students here. They help me out with the show all the time, so please forgive me with the sound in the background. I have a lot of friends who attend university, and they know I'm a YouTube creator, and they help me out with the set and everything. So we have a lot of parties on the weekend, and of course the wrestling pay-per-views tomorrow night, and we've got a lot of stuff happening here on this channel. So please forgive me. I've always had a lot of always had a lot of respect for Ruby Rose Turner, and I've forever had the biggest crush in the world on Ruby. And I will forever and always have the biggest crush in the world on Ruby. Because Ruby offered so much to the franchise that literally nobody else ever did. And that's why she became everybody's favorite character, because she was just so incredibly kind. She was just undeniably sweet. And that was the thing about Ruby that really stood out to me. While Dove Cameron looked at it as an opportunity to really gain more exposure and to become more popular than ever before, which undeniably she did, nobody ever looked at Dove Cameron as the sweetest girl ever. They just looked at her as a fashion icon, because after the success of Descendants, Dove Cameron was seen on every red carpet that she could ever appear on. And she's been on red carpets ever since. She's taken full advantage of the opportunities Disney and Descendants and Kenny Ortega gave to her, because Kenny Ortega saw a star in Dove Cameron. But I think even with how much appreciation Dove Cameron may have shown in the eyes of a lot of fans of Descendants and fans of her just in general, I think that people like Ruby Rose Turner, who aren't really that well known, gained so much severity because of just how much dedication she put behind her role. And Kylie Control too. So that's why when Kylie Control cries all the time, it really bothers me, because Kylie Control doesn't really understand her worth and really understand how much of a heart she touches every single time she steps onto a stage, because she really puts her heart into her performances, and anybody who puts their heart into a performance outshines any performance that Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande could ever give. And that's coming from a guy who was the biggest Ariana Grande fan in the world. I'm never going to lie to you about that. I was the biggest Ariana Grande fan in the world ever since her days on the Nickelodeon show Salmon Cat and Victorious. I remember seeing this girl on the Lion King Broadway musical and saying to myself that she is going to be a superstar overnight. And undeniably she became a superstar overnight and fell into the same category of conversation as Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus. But forever, if that conversation can always be presented, if that argument can always come up about Miley Cyrus being the greatest superstar of all time and the youngest Disney legend ever, so too can your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. If the cast of Twilight can be said they never have to do anything else for the rest of their life because of the success of the Twilight saga, which undeniably was overwhelming on times, I think the Descendants of Zombies cast can be considered in that same kind of conversation, because I have never seen something so popular take the world by storm like Descendants of Zombies was able to do. It captivates hearts. It gets people thinking about their dreams more than ever before. And people are actually realizing their dreams more, which means so much to me. Every single time I hear somebody talking about their dreams, how they're getting stronger all the time, they're standing up for what they believe in, that is precisely what I wanted to do with this YouTube channel. All I ever wanted to do was relay a message of kindness. And some way or somehow, I like to believe that I achieved that dream. So you guys not only helped me achieve my dream, but you also made me realize a point in my life, get to a point in my life that I will never ever forget you for. Because talking about Descendants of Zombies ultimately became the greatest honor of my life. Being able to talk about your favorite franchises, your favorite moments, your favorite songs, and your favorite stars, and catapult them to the heights of superstardom really became an honor of my life. Talking about this every year around Halloween, I get excited for the month of October, and I've got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of fun stuff planned, going to be happening throughout the month of October. I'm not the best pumpkin carver in the world, so you're going to have to forgive me, but maybe I'll have something planned for Halloween. We'll do a lot of Descendants of Zombies conversation, as we do every time around this year. And of course, we've got the holidays this year. For the first time ever, I'll have the chance to spend the holidays with you guys. The American Thanksgiving. Tomorrow actually is Thanksgiving here in Canada, or actually Sunday, I think, is Thanksgiving in Canada. And then we've got the American Thanksgiving to follow, Halloween, of course, Christmas thrown in there, New Year's. We're going to have a lot of fun during the holidays, and I have a lot to say where Descendants of Zombies goes. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that. And seriously, guys, thank you so much. Thank you from my heart to yours for having made this YouTube channel so popular. Thank you for having made me your voice of Descendants of Zombies, because I honestly don't know where I'd be without you guys. I'd be just some guy playing video games and attending movie premieres with no purpose. And you guys have made me a superstar on YouTube for talking about Descendants and Zombies. That's how dedicated you've been to these franchises. You guys make magic happen when you don't even realize it. So seriously, thank you so much. So because of each and every one of you, I have dedicated the rest of my life, even if that's what that means, to uploading Descendants and Zombies videos for every single person who has ever believed in this franchise, because I know there are thousands, if not millions of people who watch these videos every night on YouTube. And it is the greatest honor of my life to broadcast this show off of this island under the light of the moon every single night for people who love Descendants of Zombies in 4K HD, Ultra HD quality, because you guys really do love this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel underwent an evolution. It went from standard HD to 4K Ultra High Definition, and it's such an honor for me to be here after having invested thousands of dollars behind this YouTube channel with all these stuffies in the background and all this Mickey Mouse merch and reciprocal lights, what have you. There are a lot of people who make this YouTube channel happen behind the scenes that you guys don't see. I have a lot of thank yous to throw out, but the biggest thank you that I have to give out is for each and every one of you for just being here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for loving this YouTube channel as much as what you have. We will keep the conversation going about Descendants of Zombies for just a little while longer. I will return tomorrow morning as early as 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. throughout the day, dropping more videos about Descendants of Zombies. This is the Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world that's been in popular demand for forever. We'll continue on the conversation about Descendants of Zombies and keep it ongoing up until the premiere of Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, and Zombies 5, regardless of when it happens between now and 2028. I know, I get it, it feels like forever away, but that doesn't mean that we can't get there, and get there together. Guys, thank you so much. Keep Descendants of Zombies going on in your heart. Keep on rocking out to the music. Keep on supporting stars like Freya Skye, because we love her to death. Thank you guys so much for watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blog, streaming it on your YouTube channels, on your phones, on your tablets. Keep Jonathan Clarke in your hearts for forever, and we will talk tomorrow about Descendants of Zombies and keep this conversation ongoing. Stay calm and zombie on, guys, because it's the only way to be in this life.